Hey everybody, we're going to have a great show tonight. Let me go ahead and throw up this right here. Listen here, just my content disclaimer, just covering all the bases. The content of this show are the thoughts and opinions of the KingJives show, not anybody else's platform or broadcast or anything like that. Listen, let me tell you, tonight is going to be a wonderful night, and I'm so excited because we're going to be able to, we are interviewing other people that are like us, but have different thoughts and opinions from us. But anyways, we're going to be respectful until, hopefully things stay on the beaten path, okay? On the beaten path. Just touch your neighbor and say, we're going to do our best to stay on the beaten path. Listen, so tell your neighbors and your friends to come on KingJives' own. When you, Tanika, Nay, y'all share this on Facebook, share it to like 20 people, and tell them to come on KingJives is on, okay? Tell your neighbors and your friends. And when you come on, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, the like button, share the video, and please leave a comment, okay? We're getting ready to start the show, okay? Our guest is here. We're getting ready to have a great show. Talk to you guys in a minute, okay?
Crazy what I'm about to say. Sometimes she's here, you can take away you can come. I'm a hot air balloon, never go space. I'm the like I don't care, Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. If you feel like happiness is true, clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, bring me down, the love is too high. Bring me down, can't nothing. Bring me down, I said. Clap along, feel like a room without a
Listen, everyone, before the show gets started, I want to first let you know that you can always support the show via Cash App, Zelle, PayPal. All financial contributions are greatly appreciated, and we really do thank you so much. Now sit back and let's enjoy.
Hey, everybody. So welcome to the show. My guest is here. My guests are here. Before they come on, I want to just briefly give a introduction to them because a lot of people don't know them. But they sent their bios over, and I want to properly introduce them. I know you guys may see them on their social medias and things of that nature, but Just to give a brief introduction of who they are, let me just kind of skim through this. It's not a very lengthy bio, but it's a bio. So I want to properly introduce them, okay? Respect and deference to them, okay? So Beverly Beatty was born in Staten Island, New York, and soon after moved to North Carolina, where she spent the majority of her childhood. In her formative years as a child, her parents separated, and she was raised in an environment of instability, turmoil, and both sexual and physical abuse. As a product of as a product of broken culture, she acted out with rebellious behavior from a young age. She developed a negative image of men, which was more deeply confirmed through repeated experiences. Men were after one thing. Men were after one thing and one thing only, just like her father had told her as a teenager. Having had her first abortion at 15 and later dropping out of high school, she continued a self-destructive path centered around dating, drugs, drinking. She would go on to have two more abortions during that time. Okay. Living a carefree lifestyle, and needing a large sum of money to catch up on past due rent payments. She was caught and arrested for money laundering from her employer. While in jail awaiting bail for 7 days, she met women who had the God-given ability to see her internal struggle with depression that she had kept secret for quite some time. The women told her that if she did not change her life, the next step for her would be the grave. Beverlyn knew in her heart this was true, and upon her release, moved forward in the determination to change her path. All right. This is the last part. Not long after working for a nonprofit women's organization, she was raising awareness and fundraising for people on the streets in front of the Trump Towers in New York City. She met a woman named Edemee. I believe I'm saying that right. If I'm not, ladies, please forgive me. Who patiently listened to her explanation of all the things that they were doing to help young girls. After completing her pitch, Edemee, please, I hope I'm saying that right, responded, "I could give you money, but if these girls don't know Jesus, nothing will change." Beverlyn knew deep down that this was true, and with courteous curiosity sparked by their conversation, proceeded to get to know Edemee more in the coming weeks. Shortly after Edemee, hold on. Okay. Proceeded to get to know Edemee more in the coming weeks. Shortly after, Edemee began to discipline Bevelyn, and they began to work alongside one another to pursue the ministry of God had called them to be, feeding the hungry, healing the sick, sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ. In short, sharing the truth that until Jesus matters, nothing else matters. So let me do this because Edemee's bio is pretty much very similar. I'm gonna read the beginning and then I'm gonna jump down to the end because they met each other towards the end of this. Edemee, can't say her last name. She is from Paris and Haiti. Born in Paris to the parents who previously immigrated to Paris from Haiti. In her early years, her family attended church, but after her parents divorced, she went as a child. They were divorced when she was a child. Her mother left the church and gave up on God. Influenced by her own negative life experience and the speeches of Malcolm X, she developed a hatred of white people and for her father, from which she had become estranged. Having visited the United States several times throughout the 90s, she fell in love with the sense of freedom in America and impressed by the size and scale of every aspect of life. In contrast, that was familiar in Europe. As an adult, after experiencing the loss and death of her friend in 2002, she decided to immigrate to the United States for a new start. Now, at the end is where both of them met. I want to introduce these ladies. Yes, you guys, wow. I want to introduce these ladies. Without further ado, I want to introduce my guests and also my co-hosts, Thais and Kyrie are on, well, Thais is not here yet, but my guests, Bevelyn and Edemee. Thank you, ladies, for being on. How are you doing this evening? Wait, I can't hear. There you go. Hey, ladies.
We're trying to figure this thing out.
Now he has it.
Okay, there we go.
Hi.
How you doing?
Good. How are you all doing this evening?
Can't complain.
Can't complain. If I wanted to, I think I look at the camera so it look like I'm
yeah.
looking at you.
Thank you so much for taking the opportunity to come on the KingJives show. I had some people that introduced me to you, Beverlyn, and I was like, I had already just interviewed another Trump lady. I don't want to do this because I don't want people to think I'm just antagonizing or whatever, but I was intrigued by your story and it's very interesting and everything. And so, and then, am I saying your name correct? Is it Edemee?
Almost. You did good. Trust me. Most people, it's French. It's Edemee.
Edemee.
You got it.
Okay. Thank you so much for being on. Your stories, both you guys' stories are very, very intriguing. It's nothing new to the Black culture, but you know, it's very intriguing because, you know, at some point it's like, when is this stuff going to change in our culture? You know, but I wanted to know just from all of that, how, because we're going to get into all of these things. I do have a few questions before I bring on Kyrie. But I was very interested. How did you all become Trump supporters?
Well, we would have to tell you how we became conservatives first for you to understand.
Okay.
When we started the ministry, we were radical. We wanted to go out. We wanted to just share the good news. And that's why we called our ministry At the Well Ministries, because we both had encounters like that Samaritan woman at the well. She had an encounter with Jesus. She couldn't keep it to herself. She had to go and tell all of Samaria about Jesus Christ, right? So me and her had this desire to do that exact same thing. And I'm kind of just like nutshelling everything. So what we did was we hit the streets. And because I'm from rough neighborhoods, it was in my heart to go back to rough neighborhoods. So we went to like Philly. We went to like drug houses in Baltimore. We stopped shootouts in Chicago. I mean, just the things we did, just wanting to get out there. And we stood by faith, went out there and ministered the gospel. And what I believe really gave us the strong conservative mindset for me was I lived it. I lived on welfare. My mom, and not in totality, because my mother just was not going to collect a check and not work. You understand what I'm saying? And the only reason why my dad really wasn't there the way he needed to be is because I actually was born in Charlotte, but I was raised in North Carolina because my dad was on the run for murder. So my dad, he was born in 1964. He grew up in like the 1980s when hip hop was just booming, high top fades, thick gold dookie chains. My mother was like the asymmetrical hairstyle, salt and pepper type rag. Yes, but the thing is, my dad was rebellious. My grandmother was a strong Christian. My dad was rebellious to being a strong Christian and submitting, right? So he went a whole nother round. He became a 5%er, which is under the Nation of Islam. My mom wasn't a Christian, but she was like that down chick. You know what I'm saying? So my parents were like Bonnie and Clyde together, you know? So he's like going to shoot somebody, she's hiding a gun. And so now in the midst of them doing the things that they're doing, they have children. So when we hit the streets and started ministering the gospel, Edemee was sharp in politics. She understood things like Lyndon Baines Johnson saying, I'll give them niggas enough, but not too much, but enough that I'll keep them voting Democrat for the next 200 years. She knew that the Democrats had fought to actually keep slavery. I didn't know that. And I went to a public school. I never knew that. So I didn't know these things. She was school me. But then when we hit the streets, the conservatism birthed in both of us, because we realized, wait a minute, welfare is hurting our community, is making our if a man is a leader And there's nothing no one can ever say. I'm not a feminist. I will never support feminism. I know what a man is. A man is a leader, period, point blank. When my dad was in the house, there was structure and leadership. When my dad left the house, the structure and the leadership left with them. Yep. That's just period. And I won't argue with nobody about that because there's nothing they can say to make me change my mind. So now the reality is a man wants to be a leader in his own household and be a provision. When he is now stripped of that opportunity and that job because welfare says you don't need that, we will take care of you. This is when we start on this decline of our community, because once our fathers are no longer in the home and the men are not doing what God bred them to do, be leaders and providers, even though a woman is strong and capable, she's not a man. She will never be a man. And that's not her role. So now she's trying to do two things at one time. And that's why you get these single mothers who are like, yeah, I did a good job. I raised these kids well. But there's a lot of time mom was not home. Things could get done. Boys could come over. We could be rolled up. Parties can, because again, that structure is not there. And so when we would go out into these communities, we would just see young men who didn't have fathers. Their mothers didn't have husbands, and they're just the mother's doing them. The son has no encouragement to go out and do something for himself. So now he has all this idle time to be on the block. And what happens when a boy is on the block? Eventually, he's going to get involved in gangs. Next thing you know, he's shooting somebody. And next thing, he another statistic. And then now the girls, because they don't have fathers, they don't know how to carry themselves as women. They get any little bit of attention from a man. And now when a guy says a couple of things in your ear that tickle, next thing you know, you believe that he love you, you laying down with him. You remember that song about Life, SEX? I feel like that was a testimony to what a lot of young girls experience. So when we got on the streets and seen this, and I mean, I lived it, I feel like she didn't live it as much, but she knew about it. The parallel came together and we realized, oh snap, bro, we being finessed.
Now, and I talk about this, I even talked about this yesterday about, the empowerment of women and everything like that, because, a lot of times what people fail to realize is that, especially now, especially the preachers now, they're doing so much, and yet and still there are a lot of women who still support them, yet and still the men are still doing crazy stuff, and the women are just staying there because they, for whatever reason. But that's not the subject on tonight, but it is a good segue to something else. But to being a conservative and then being a Trump supporter, what made you become a Trump supporter? And again, I respect your views, I respect your opinions, because that is your thoughts, that's your opinions. And again, just like I told Cadence Ashley, I'm not here to beat nobody up because of what they think or how they feel, because what you support and how you support don't make me do anything. That's your thoughts and that's your opinions, period. And I respect it. It is what it is. Because it don't affect my change nowhere or the other. But what made you all become Trump supporters?
I would rather be told the truth than finessed and stabbed in the back.
Okay.
I would rather hear the truth, even if it hurts my feelings. You read the bio earlier. I have a gripe about that. I used to be a racist. I used to hate white people. You see what I'm saying? So there's something there. What I didn't realize at the time is that I was chasing the wrong enemy. So talking about President Trump, he is one that came up and said, hey, what the hell do you have to lose? Mm-hmm. You've been voting the same way for 50 or some odd years. You're at the total bottom poll on every single statistic. Mm-hmm. You're voting the same people in and nothing changes. The only time they care about you is right before the vote happens, yes? And so what they do, come to your church, give you a little hoopla, because all of a sudden they're preachers now. Ask Hillary Clinton. She also has hot sauce in her purse.
In the bag.
See?
Nobody's offended by that, though.
Of course not.
That's disrespectful.
Of course not. But for someone to tell me that they are rats in Baltimore, I don't have to be told. I saw them. We saw them. We saw them. You see, but we're so offended by the truth. And that's our problem. So why are we supporters? Because you see, Trump didn't just talk false promises. He said what he would do, and he did beyond. Okay? These so-called HBCUs that we so prize in the Black community, with Trump now, they are funded permanently. We had a Black president right before him
8 years.
never happened. What shall we say to this?
Now, break that down to them. What did the HBCUs
The
have to do?
HBCUs, Black colleges, historical Black colleges,
Who were founded on
Morehouse
Christian principles
initially,
because
right?
no one would educate us.
No. So
Okay.
we had to create our own school system, right? That was self-sufficiency. See, that's when Black people were not complaining. I'm saying Black, it's a global statement to understand. But that's when Black people were like, you know what? Y'all don't want us. We're going to make our own.
Ourselves.
We're going to educate our own. We're going to create our own businesses. We're not going to wait on you to give us a welfare check. We're not going to do that. So those colleges were started. But the thing is, every single year, they had to send some expert in Washington to get funding. And they've done that for decades. Now, President Trump is in office. Lo and behold, they come as usual, because it doesn't matter who's president. They need the money.
And they have to go every year.
And
now,
every
mind
year.
you, Yale and all these other Ivy League colleges don't have to.
No.
They have permanent funding.
No.
But all HBCUs would have to come every year to get funding and request it. They will be the only ones. Keep
so
going.
Why would they have to do that? That's question number one. But number two, here's what Trump did. On the second year, is that y'all are back? What's going on? Because, he would see them, photo up and things, and then he would trust his administration to handle business, right? Okay, so now they come back a second year. A third year is like, wait a minute, why are y'all coming back? Well, we don't have permanent funding. So through executive order, he didn't wait for Congress to get their act together. Through executive order, he drafted an order for them to be permanently funded and multiplied their funding because it was so low compared to white colleges. That's what the racists in the White House did, coming from someone who used to be racist.
And that's just one. That's
example.
One. There's so
One
much
example.
more. So much more.
No, I'm saying to you all, because that's a good segue about the HBCUs. But what like just one point, what made you individuals become Trump supporters? What did Trump do to make you all say, you know what? I like him. I'm gonna support him.
Yeah, I mean, initially for me, I was supporting.
Now, Edemee, you said that he spoke the truth.
The truth, that's key. And now, here's the thing, though. At first, I wasn't hearing the truth because I was buying the Kool-Aid. I was drinking the Kool-Aid like everyone else because all you saw was CNN making a mockery of him, right? So, but initially, I supported Ben Carson. Ben Carson happened to not win the primary. And then a few days later, I see him endorse Donald Trump out of all people. Now I'm intrigued because, I don't know Ben Carson the way that is painted today. I know him from being the expert that he's been and the pioneer that he's been in the Black community. You understand? So for a man of integrity like Ben Carson to point to President Trump, I said, you know what? Let me give this man a chance because all I hear is sound bounce on TV. And the moment I sat through a whole rally and I could not believe what I was hearing.
Yeah. And Ben Carson, if you don't know, you probably do. I'm not going to assume you don't. Ben Carson was the first doctor, Black or white, to separate Siamese twins. Okay? Came from the ghetto and everything. Highly educated man and a strong Christian and has professed his Christian faith through his walk as a doctor all the way through. So this was someone we knew as Christians we could genuinely stand by. But for me personally, I'll be honest with you, this is what I already supported Trump because me personally, my personality is like that. I'm very cut straight to the chase. I don't try to sugarcoat it. And a lot of people get offended by me. And it doesn't, for me, it's not like, oh, I'm sorry, I offended. No, I don't give a damn. I'll do it again because I'm going to say what I mean and mean what I say. I'm not going to apologize for being a grown woman, you know what I mean, and saying my opinion. So for me, I always liked Trump, but I never had an issue with alpha males. Once the Lord delivered me from that Jezebel spirit, I had no issue with the man that said what he said, meant what he said. And I would prefer someone be straight up with me than finesse me. I'm sorry, that's just me. But this is what really made him get my support. I lived in Maine for 4 years and I lived on the coast. And so I was driving into town, into Bangor, and he had a rally. So I didn't know it. So it was like an accidental rally. I see the name Trump. So then I drive to the rally. So I go in, they let me in for free. And then I actually sit at one of his rallies and I listen to what he says. And then that evening they play what he said on the news. What he said what I heard and what I heard on the news were two totally different things. And I realized, oh my God. So
what did he
he
say?
was just talking, he was just the same thing, you know, what the hell do you have to lose? Vote for us. This, they want to take your freedom. They want to take this, they want to take that. And I mean, it's the same thing he been pushing. But the news said Trump is racist because Trump is telling black people they're gonna take your freedom, they're gonna take this. But I know it was at least 4 black people in the crowd because Maine is mad white. So I'm like, he was talking to white people, but the media said he's talking to black people. I'm like, but wait. The same message he delivered to white people is the same message he delivered to blacks. That's exactly and it was like the media saying, oh, he's racist. He said it to black people. And this is the crazy part. People didn't realize it was in Maine. What black people are in Maine? There's no black people in Maine. So for me, I realized the media is not solid. Nope. They twist stories around. You got to get it for yourself. And then I realized, all right, they be lying. Trump is solid.
Absolutely.
Okay. So there are a few questions that I do want to ask. My other hold on, let me tag them in, but I'm gonna tell them, hold on, wait. Here is Tyrese. Here is Kyrie. Hey guys, how are you guys doing? Before we all
greetings.
It is Friday. It is Friday. We normally have our show called The Four Kings, and I said, you know what, guys, let's just interview the ladies. We may not even have to go on late on this afternoon, but they're here. And I just say, you know what? They are educated black men, and let's all just talk. Let's all sit around the campfire and let's talk. Ladies, you all have really been in the media for a lot of things. And one of the things I did seen, let me make sure I get it correct. One of the things I saw was the issue with the plane about the mask. I saw Beverlyn, you had got stabbed and for protecting a white man because he was about to get jumped by some black guys or some black teenagers. And I was actually introduced to you because of the stabbing. And I was thrown off because it was brought to me, and in my mind automatically I was like, okay, here's another Candace Owens. Oh my God. But you know, I get it. Then I don't. I get it though. But in just everything, especially that we've seen it, especially like I told your assistant, I said, you know, tonight we're just talking about all of the events and just the perils of this world, and just, you know, how you all are Trump supporters and just all of this stuff is going on and you guys are okay with it. Now, as a black person, you know, I'm the type of person, and I'll let Kyrie and Thais say something in a moment. I'm the type of person that sits back and I watch everything because I feel like this. I may not do Trump. I also look at Biden and I'm like, okay, well, there are some things I don't like about you either. But for me, Biden was a lesser of two evils. That's me. That's my opinion. I didn't like Trump for several of reasons. But I was just like, okay, the 4 years that he was in office, to me, not you guys, to me, I always had a question mark to be like, what are you doing? And all of this foolishness that's going on, you're not saying anything about it. And then what really was the needle in the haystack, the straw that brought the camel's back for me, was not only, it was a lot of stuff, but it was the George Floyd situation. And it was a lot of black people that were saying negative stuff about that. And I just saw that on the media and I was like, you know, how that was handled was just like, it was too much for me, you know. And it was like, as the president of the United States, you have nothing to say about it. And then you come back and call him and the people thugs. I was just like, you know what? And then the white boy previously, he was giving a drink of water. And I was just like, I'm like, okay, I'm all the way confused with all this stuff. But it is a few questions, but I'm gonna let the fellas ask the questions and talk for a moment because I want to give everybody an opportunity to ask the ladies a question on tonight. So one of you guys go ahead and start. Thais, Kyrie.
All right. You want to go, Thais?
You can go ahead.
All right, I just had a couple. One, how you ladies doing first? How y'all doing?
Doing well. We can't complain.
Jesus is good.
Absolutely.
Good. I want to add, because you all love Trump, how do you support and respect a man that does not respect women? Not even because y'all black women, just women, period.
Well, we love Jesus first and foremost. Let's make that very clear. And first and foremost, I want to know what he has done that makes it that he doesn't respect women. Aside from the fact that the media has accused him of saying that a female who is loose as a goose and will deal with any dude with money, and if as long as you got some dollars in your bank, you could grab her by the kitty cat, she won't say nothing. He was basically saying she's a cheap woman who doesn't respect herself, and all you got to do is have bankroll and you can do whatever you want with her. I'm sorry, but that's the truth about some of these females. I don't think that's disrespectful. I think that's facts. I grew up in a time where if it walk like a duck, talk like a duck, quack like a duck, it's a duck. So
but it's still disrespectful. And then now I will say, I listen to you all. I agree with a lot of stuff that you all say, but then I disagree about some of the things you like, defacing the Black Lives Matter mural in the name of Jesus. It ain't because of the name of Jesus. I just can't get with that, because I love the saying. You know, I have my own thoughts about the organization. I love the motto. And
motto and the are separate.
Right. So, but why would you all destroy that? Because Black lives do matter. Now, I saw this video where you were saying that Black lives, they should all matter. I agree with you on that. In front of an abortion clinic, and you would say that's the #1 killer of Black babies. Now I agree. Black lives should matter. Black lives do matter, but the point of it is the police did not treat us equally. Now, those people that you said,
are you asking a question or are you making a statement? Which one are you doing? I'm waiting for the question.
Okay, about that. Well, okay. Let me ask this: how do you support because you went to Washington? How do you support the movement that you all went to, and then still be a Christian?
Okay.
The movement. Which movement are you talking about? Just to make sure I understand this correctly.
What happened on Wednesday, on the 6th of January? I'm sorry, in DC.
As patriots showing up to Washington DC, is that support?
Yeah, because the actions. I see what you're saying, but the actions that you all did then.
Yeah, so how do you as a Christian support the looting with Black people going into stores and stealing from Foot Locker and things like that? You're a Christian. The Bible says thou shalt not steal. How do you support that? How is that okay?
Oh, are you asking me personally?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't support. Well, I'm not a Christian. 1, 2. I don't support that.
Well, that right there encompasses a lot of stuff right there. But that's good. At least you're honest there. But I mean, let's be honest. A lot of people who support Black Lives Matter did not support the looting and that type of behavior. Correct? So just because a person supports a movement doesn't mean they support that type of behavior. And the reality is, I am always going to support a person raising their voice, but I'm never going to support violence in any way, shape, or form. But let's not look at the double standard and act like patriots just been out here busting people upside their heads when that's not the case. This is one time patriots woke up, got out, and really made their voice known. But for 7 months straight, Antifa and BLM been out here burning, looting. I watched it with my own eyes, got it on camera, documented. I watched, and most of the people going in there, they still in sneakers. I don't know what sneakers from Foot Locker got to do with Black Lives Matter. I don't know what Nike shirts and Adidas suits got to do with Black Lives Matter. I don't know how that's going to help the cause or help Black people love themselves, but that's what was happening. So I don't understand that.
But at that same matter, the allies of Black Lives Matter, the white folks, they went to Target and they stealing coffee makers and whatever machines. So it was out, but you said what?
It was Black people. White people did too, white liberals, but it was Black people.
Liberals.
Don't act like Black people didn't do it. They did it.
Absolutely.
Okay, now I have another question. What?
Thais, go ahead.
Go ahead, Thais.
Jump in, because I got a.
Okay, so ladies, it appears that you have adopted this ideology. You know,
Again.
Say that again.
It appears that you ladies have adopted your ideology or your belief system full head on. You really believe, what you believe, right?
Okay. Keep going. I follow you so far.
Okay, well, why? First of all, I came on I'm being very respectful. I said, you seem to, your ideology and your thought pattern, your belief system, you believe it. I didn't say anything disrespectful. I'm trying to figure out, why is she laughing?
No, that's because I missed part of what you said. That's why I asked for you to repeat.
And I'm a happy
Okay.
person. I like to laugh. I didn't know laughing is offensive. I'm sorry if you're offended.
No,
Maybe I can't help
it is disrespectful, Bevelyn, because I hadn't even made a point yet. I just came on and just said,
happy to be here, baby. I can't help that you feel some type of way, but I'm ready for the question. But
see, look, this is what I don't do. I don't do passive aggressive, okay? Baby, sweetheart, sweetie, sugar, all of that's passive aggressive.
No, what you are displaying right now is an effeminate male. You are basically arguing about the fact that I'm laughing because I can, rather than asking the question. And what you're doing is you're acting
Bevelyn.
like
Bevelyn. I am a proud gay man. I am a proud gay man. Okay. Yes, I am.
Okay.
That explains a lot. I believe, listen. We can't talk over each other, Bevelyn.
But I'm waiting for the question, boo. I'm waiting for that.
Okay, we can't talk over each other. We can't. I'm trying my best.
Please, I'm waiting.
I'm trying my best just to be respectful. I'm trying to be respectful of my brother's platform. My sexuality has nothing to do with anything that's going on here today. Okay, there's a lot I could say, but I'm gonna be respectful. Okay, I'm gonna continue to be respectful of this platform.
Amen. That's what you do.
See, we can't do this. We can't listen. We can't. I can't do this. And I know what that is. I know what that's a form of. But listen. As black women, as two black women here on the birth date of Dr. King, right? Two black women who God blessed with melanin in their skin. He blessed you with melanin, right? How do you come to the place where you're at in 2021, knowing what you know about Donald Trump, everything that he has said and he has done historically? How do you sit here where you're not doing straight faces, but how do you sit here and advocate as black women, knowing what black women have been through in this country historically, from 1619, a little bit before that, until now? How do you sit here, not with straight faces because you're smiling and you're laughing, and advocating for whiteness and white supremacy? How do you do that?
Well, in a nutshell, I wish there were more Donald Trumps. I wish for more men.
You wish that
for more.
Now listen. I know culturally. You're not rap tight culturally. You're a little aloof. I get it.
You're right, because we're not ignorant.
I get it. I'm not here.
Culturally,
I know you're not rap too tight. But listen. When I'm here to ask, I'm just here to ask a question, and y'all can have it.
But you're interrupting. We love
okay, well, I'm not here. Listen, Beverlyn, I'm not here to convert you. I'm not here to convert you or anything.
You're totally fair with that. We just
I'm not here to convert you. What I'm just asking you is how, as black women, coming from the stock of Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Fannie Lou Hamer, Ella Baker, can you sit here on Martin Luther King's birthday on a YouTube show and advocate for white supremacy? How do you do that? How does that work? Can you break down the psychology of it? Can you break down the psychology of it for me?
She wants to.
All right. All right. So to answer your question, you ask how, and we're telling you how. That is because before Harriet Tubman, which we have total respect for, and anyone else that paved the way, okay, as you believe, and as I believe as well, for black people in this country to be where they are today, my allegiance is not to my color. My allegiance is to my Savior.
Jesus.
And his name is Jesus. And I do what he says to do. I live the way he wants me to live. And so if the man Jesus is not for the murder of innocent children, I'm not going to vote for someone who advocates the murder of innocent children.
No.
If my Jesus is not for socialism, even if he's accused of being a socialist,
but in that,
He is not, because he said that if you don't produce with the little bit that you have, you will not be a ruler over much. That's my Jesus right there.
Yeah.
My Jesus said that if you don't work, you don't eat. That's what my Jesus says.
Hello?
I'm not going to vote for someone that promotes an agenda that goes against the kingdom of God.
That's
so
serious.
how? It's because of my word. It's because his name is Jesus. It's because he's the one that saved me. And anything that agrees with that, I'm going to go with. Everything that does not agree,
keep the change. And let's talk about Harriet Tubman. Let's address her.
Come on.
Let's be very good on that.
Listen, hold on, Bevelyn. If you're gonna be disrespectful to any of those people I mentioned, I can go. So remember, keep it cute.
I'm not gonna be disrespectful, but
keep it cute. Keep it cute, pretty. I'm trying to be nice to you. I'm trying to be nice to you. I'm trying to be respectful to you, girl. I'm trying to be very nice to you, pretty. Okay? I'm trying to be nice.
You listen, you shouldn't have to try. You should just be.
I'm trying to be nice.
Let's just be nice. Don't have to try, just be.
I'm trying.
It's like class.
I'm trying.
Or you don't. You don't have to
started. You started. You started being passive aggressive, girl, smiling and laughing.
Passive, smiling, I'm happy, boo, and I'm fabulous. And I'm gonna be that. Because that's what I am. I can't help it. This is what God made me to be, baby.
All right.
Now let me
no, you want to talk about
while we on the subject. Yeah. I want to get Harriet Tubman real quick because he mentioned her and I'm actually a big fan of hers. So I want to address that. Let's talk about Harriet Tubman. If you watch her movie and if you read her book, Harriet Tubman was baptized with the Holy Spirit. Harriet Tubman will go to the north. She was in Delaware. No, she was in Maryland. She would have to get through Delaware to get to Philadelphia. And when she hit Philadelphia, she was free. This woman moved by God. Her husband did not support her, and he left behind and married another woman. A lot of her own family didn't support her. And she still went back and got as many people as she could. And let me tell you something. It was white folk who helped her. When first of all, people don't even know this. She was actually a general in the Union Army. And she led a bunch of northern white folk to fight against Democrat Confederates to fight for our free. Let's be clear.
Say it again.
Democrats.
Say it again.
Confederates.
Democrats.
First of all, Martin Luther King was a Republican.
Well,
Malcolm X was a Republican. Malcolm X said, if you vote for the Democrat Party, the ones who promise you and promise you and promise you and don't deliver, you are a political chump.
And a traitor.
That's what he said.
Your race.
That's what he said. So these men that we're talking about, these leaders on Martin Luther King's birthday, if he's seeing what black people are doing right now, he'd be rolling in his grave because he had a dream that we would unite together, not divide and be racist and talk about whiteness and white supremacy. And let me be very clear. White supremacy ain't never hindered nothing I got going on in my life. I eat good every night. I got a full plate. Being black don't change nothing. I work hard for everything I get and not a person can stop me. Mind you, I got a felony. Mind you, been to jail. Mind you, had abortion, did it all, and grew up in the hood, dropped out of school and everything. And I still got a lot more money than those who are college educated, but still complaining about the white man. White man don't stop nothing on my plate. So this white supremacy, I will never acknowledge it. I'm not going to acknowledge that, because they're white, they're better than me. I'm lit regardless of what color I am. Always lit. Born lit, gonna stay.
Well, they say when you sit in shit for so long, it stops smelling. I get it. I get it. You know, that's what they say.
No, because that's what you're doing.
They say when you sit in shit for so long, it smells.
You would know nothing about that, but you would know because that's what you doing, sweetie. That's why you acknowledge white supremacy and white, because you know you love the white man. That's why he better than me. He needs to stop being better than me, because if he too much, he doing too much. He owns too many businesses. He got too much money. The white man better than me. He has to stop because I can't do it because I was suppressed. Let me tell you something. Even when we was suppressed, we were still actually way more wealthier as a black ratio than the white community. Had schools, businesses, and everything, educated, full blown, without ever having to knock on no white man door for nothing. So I will never sit and point the finger and say, oh, because they're white, they're better than me. That's for birds and losers. And I'm not that. Sorry.
But so are you saying there's no such thing?
Can I reply?
Oh, wait,
am I able to?
Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Give me a second.
Okay.
Give me a second. Now, because I want to get these questions out, and I really want to just talk about this. Now, it's good that we're having dialogue, but I want the emotions to to kind of calm down, because we need to be able to say what we need to say with our words and not with our emotions. Now, Beverlyn said something earlier about we're wealthy. You're absolutely correct. We were wealthy at a time where we were billionaires. We owned planes, we owned banks, we owned all these things. But you have to remember, I believe that town, it was in Greensville or Greensboro, Oklahoma. I might be saying it wrong, but that town was burned down. But wait. Listen to what I'm saying. It was burned down by white individuals. Okay. Now, with that being said, we have continuously.
Who burnt it?
It was white people who burned it down.
Yeah, but guess what? It was white Democrats, aka the KKK, because they didn't want those wealthy black people to overflow their land. On top of that, they didn't want them to vote, because most of those black people that you're speaking about in Black Wall Street were Republicans. They didn't want them to vote, so that's why they would noose them, they would hang them. It was the KKK and Democrats who suppressed them. Hey, they were called Dixiecrats back then. So if we're gonna, this is the thing. If you're going to just say white people, this is where the enemy is going to be able to trickle in, and the lines are going to get stirred, because nobody's identifying. There's a difference between the white men in the South that were back in that time and the North. That's why black people flooded to the North, because even though white men were there, they weren't looking to kill them. They let them live freely. It was white Democrats who came for.
Let me say this.
Yeah, white folks are white folks.
Beverlyn, let me say this. I get exactly.
So white folks.
I get exactly what you're saying, because I'm not specifying what group of white people. I'm not specifying, but at the end of the day, it was white individuals who did this.
That's like me saying, "Oh."
But what I'm also, all
right. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, I can be specific. That I can be specific. That's fine. What I'm getting at is that, because I'm from the South. I was born in Memphis, lived in Florida, and I also lived in Minnesota. So I'm quite familiar with the down South hospitality and racism, and I'm also familiar with the cold shade of the races of the up north too. So I mean, I get it. What I'm saying is that as black people, even with that particular situation that I talked about, is that we as a black people have had to fight for so long just to be somewhat of where we are today. Now, what I'm getting at is this right here, and I get it. I'm not being specific for you to say, what group or what party, anything like that. But still, the matter is, just like on last week, when it was a bunch of supporters that ran into the Capitol, and they were basically let into the Capitol. And I heard a lot of people say it was Antifa, but these were actually Trump supporters. Now, I do feel like this. If it was black people or black people who were against the Trump movement, period, they would have been shot. When black people went out there to the Capitol, I know, Mama. I know they got shot. I know. I saw the video. But what I'm saying is, when black people went to march and protest at the Capitol, they were met with armed guards. When the Trump supporters went, they were let in the state capitol. Now that's a big difference. And I even saw one of your videos where you were saying you was there, Marcus Rogers and Paula White and everybody was there. Here's my thing, and I'm not trying to convince you again. We have two different states of opinions here, and I'm getting at this, and that is that looking at all of this, and I have watched Trump before 4 years. And I've watched Trump these past 4 years. And he is a big supporter of the KKK, white supremacists, and even hearing the things that he said on even hearing the things that he said on his platform, like, good boys stand down or whatever, it just says to me like, so whenever you speak and say something, then you go and run and come out. With all the racist things that's been going on, it's just like, that's why I question. I'm like, how do these beautiful ladies support this man? Not just because again, a lot of people that support him are supporting him because he gave them money, or he initialized money to be allotted to the American citizens, and that's why they support him. Now, I don't know if that's where you guys stand, but you all said, I know Edemee said you support him because he speaks truth.
And there's a lot more I can expand on based on everything that you just shared, because you said a mouthful and there are a few things to address. At the Capitol, I agree with you. People were let in, but you know why? It was to go against Trump. It had nothing to do with the color of the crowd. It was a setup. When Hollywood, the news media, social media, every single sphere of influence hates you, there must be something good about you. And that's the position that Trump has. The reason why these people were let in, it was because that day, Trump had a case to make in front of Congress to let them know, listen, there's been fraud in this election. Congress doesn't want to hear it because they are literally removing the president out of his seat. That's the reason why they let these people in. So that's to answer that. Then you mentioned Greenville, right? You mentioned that earlier when you first started to talk, right? Okay, we're going to give it to you. It was like racist people. The Democrat, Republican, it don't matter, okay? We're going to give it to you. Now, here's my question to you. I was born in Paris, France. That's in Europe. 50 years ago, we had a Second World War that destroyed all of these countries, all of them. Today, you would not know that there was a Second World War. My question to you is this. Just because somebody destroys something of mine doesn't mean that now I'm going to look at it every single day of my life and say, listen, I could have been something, but they did that to me. I could have been something, but they did that to me. That could be a reason, but that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. So we hear what you're saying. And again, I'm one that wants to be racist. I'm one that I promise you I would have definitely been part of BLM today if the Lord had not intervened in my life. But that God, I know better. I know that we're being used by BLM. BLM does not care about Black people. Let's get real. They only care about what the white man does. They don't care that every single day, hundreds of Black babies are being aborted. They don't care about that. They partner. Nope. They walk hand in hand with Planned Murderhood.
Give them money.
They don't care. They don't care that we shoot each other left and right, not just in Chicago, Charlotte, you name it. They don't care. Why don't they raise hell? No, the moment they say something is when a white cop does it. You know why? Because it's not even the white person that they're against. They're against authority. You know why? Because it's a Marxist organization, has nothing to do with color. Now, they were picked by the Democrat Party. That's why they gave all that money. And now you're hearing them like talking about, okay, can we sit at the table?
They can't even get it. Biden ain't taking up no calls.
Please, I got the vote, the fake vote. Y'all help me fund, y'all let me get my money. Billions of dollars.
Again.
BLM raised billions of dollars. Where did the money go? Straight to the Democrat Party. That's what it went.
None of it went to the neighborhoods. None of it helped out.
You all keep talking about abortion, but in the Bible that you read, doesn't God give you free will? So that's a woman's choice.
No, God gives all men an opportunity to make a decision for themselves, but he also has a law. So when we mention the Bible, we have to look at the whole scope of the Bible. He gave us a law. He said, thou shalt not steal. He said, thou shalt not commit adultery. He gave you a law of righteousness that all men are supposed to follow, not even in regard for yourself. Every single one of the 10 commandments is in regard of someone else. Now, if you decide you want to hurt yourself, by all means, do you. But God would make sure that he put laws in so that now what you want to do doesn't affect your fellow man, because now you are imposing on their free will. Let's be very clear. You were in your mother's womb one day. Your mother had to make a decision to acknowledge you as a human being and see your journey. The moment your dad's sperm fertilized your mother's egg, boom, Sinjo, Candid, whatever your name is, you were here and you were en route to being what you are today. Once that baby is conceived, that mother, whether carrying it or not, has no right to kill it. And the reason why any person in this earth can even speak on choice is because someone decided to say, I'm going to let you live. I'm going to birth you. I'm going to be considerate of you and not just focus on myself, because now my free will should not infringe on someone else. And this is coming from someone who had 3 abortions, 3 of them. And every time I made the decision, I never considered the child. The child was not a factor for me. It was about me and what I wanted to do. And it had nothing to do with the child. And I made those decisions. And those things that I regret for the rest of my life. But that's something now I have to deal with. So now when I meet other women who make that decision, I try to encourage them not to make the same mistake that I made. Because I thought that's what we were on. We were on trying to help people not make the same mistakes we've made. But now it seems there's this spirit of hatred to where even if you made the mistake and you saw yourself through, it's not valid enough. Just don't say nothing. Shut up. I do what I want to do. I mean, I don't understand that. I thought that's
do you, Beverlyn, do you believe in the literal what do you believe in the literal interpretation of the Bible? Are you a biblical literist? Do you believe in the Mosaic, the Hebrew law, all of the laws? The Mosaic law, the Levitical law? Do you believe in everything word for word from Genesis to Revelation?
The Bible is absolute.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Word
And stop. Full stop. Nothing. I got you. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Oh,
Well, I'm finna introduce myself. Hey, I'm London. I was at work and I was supposed to come on earlier, but I couldn't
go ahead,
leave
London.
because the regional director was here. But from what I just heard you say, that you said it was your choice to abort your babies, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if it's your choice to abort your babies, then that should be somebody else's choice to do whatever they want to do with their own body, correct?
Hell no, that's wrong. That's a lie from the pit of hell. The reality is I made that choice in ignorance because I didn't know. No.
You made that.
It was London.
You made that choice for your.
It was her choice. It was her choice before she came to. It was her choice when it was her choice. It was her choice when she came to her conclusion after she was delivered. After she was delivered, now her choice and her decisions are now everybody else's. So it happened evidently. Yeah.
It's like you can't tell me what I can't.
Women to make babies. So how are y'all speaking on abortion as if you just said out your mouth you gay? So I'm sorry, but two men hating ain't gonna make no baby. So now
you've been wanting to say this. You've been wanting to say that. You've been wanting to say something.
Wait, hold on.
Can you mute her mic?
Wait, hold on.
Can you mute her mic so I can talk?
Wait a minute.
I need her mic muted. I need her mic muted. Can you mute her mic? Mute her mic.
Ain't got shit to do with that.
Okay.
what happened?
Everybody hold on a second. I done muted everybody because, again, we're saying a whole lot of stuff. And nobody's being able to hear what anybody has to say. So,
Muted. Oh. They cracking up. We can't hear. You muted.
I don't give a fuck. Got no fucking business. I don't give a fuck.
You know, they cursing us out.
Jesus is Lord. Repent while you can.
Repent
in the name of
homosexuality.
Hey, both of y'all need to fucking repent. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Y'all can rant, rave, do whatever the fuck y'all want. I don't give a fuck. I don't give two fuck.
You're a man and a leader. That's what you are.
You going to hell just like me.
I got a question.
You're a leader in the name of Jesus.
I got a question.
Leader.
Name of Jesus.
Come on.
Okay. Now you gotta rebuke me.
But okay, wait. Listen, I had.
Can you mute that mic?
Hold on. Everybody, hold on 1 second. Listen, because this is the problem here, and I'm not here to scold, to train, to do anything like that. But
this shit is hilarious to me.
We want to speak, equally. But I'm gonna say this, like,
everybody, Jives, you always like to be nice. And this
no. See, because what I'm trying, okay. We make.
We love you. We love you.
He sound like Wayne.
You see, now in this
So we are gonna have to do the 4 Kings tonight. But let me say this. Let me say this.
It's
do that.
We love you.
What we gonna do? We don't agree.
I can give, you know what, at this point, I don't give a fuck about neither one of you motherfuckers, pigeon head bitches, or whatever the fuck y'all want to call yourself. I can give 2 fucks about either one of y'all. I really can.
Why you mad?
I'm not mad nor pressed at all. I'm not mad nor pressed at all. Because it's some bogus bullshit that you said out your fucking mouth. You got a judgmental spirit and you expect me to sit here and allow you to undercut and uppercut. Bitch, you got me fucked all the way up, bitch. And technically, to be honest, you can go to my personal inbox.
London, get your life. London, get your life.
I don't know why John said
I get my life all the time, bitch. All the time. All the time I get my life, bitch. Fuck both of y'all.
Can't you mute them and let
Then you got a bitch on here speaking African languages talking about the Bible. Bitch, fuck both of you.
B-word.
Beautiful black.
Now we F-ness. We didn't call London no names.
No.
Did I call you names?
No.
Hold on one second. Listen, let me just say this to everybody. I muted everybody. I think I muted everybody. Let me say this. I really want to do this live because I feel like this. As Black people all alike, and Bevelyn and Edemee, hear me, as Black people all alike, we do have different opinions about how we feel about Trump. At the end of the day, you all say that you're Christians. I'm a believer. I feel like this when it comes down to lives. I'm not a supporter of the Black Lives movement, but Black lives do matter. As a person who believes that, that's where I stand. From what I have seen, I muted everybody so I can say this, because this is my channel. I want to be able to say this so everybody can hear me clear. As a person that believes in Black Lives Matter, where I'm coming from is this. Y'all can support Trump all day long. It is your views, thoughts, and everything. The reason why I don't want to even go off and be upset is because I don't want you two leaving this platform saying KingJives was very disrespectful to us. KingJives did not let us have anything to say. Because at the end of the day, I respect Black women. I do. I respect Black women. Because I want to bring you guys on to be able to say, and I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. I did the same thing for Cadence, who was a white woman. I wanted to hear her thoughts and opinions because, again, your thoughts and opinions do matter. I want to hear what you have to say. Now, do I agree with everything that you all said? Absolutely not. Just like you may not agree with things that I have said, 100%. But at the end of the day, before I even thought about a Beverlyn or an Edemee, I'm looking at this stuff for myself, not as a person who don't like Trump, not as a person who don't agree with Joe Biden or anything. I'm as a Black man, I am looking at this and I'm just like, as a Black man in America, in this world, we are treated like second-class trash. And yet and still people act like that things that are happening to Black people, it does not matter. So when I say Black Lives Matter, I say Black Lives Matter as well as all lives matter. It matters about white people and Black people, brown alike. A life is a life, but when one does not respect the other, that is the problem. Because we can sit here and say, oh, I like Trump because he shoots it straight and whatever. Okay, at the end of the day, I don't believe that, but that's not my fight, okay? Me personally, I feel like this right here. If it was me, and it actually was me, my brother was beat up by the police, trying to find some light so he can be able to pull over, but he was not able to. So that was my brother. So I feel some type of way, Beverlyn and Edemee, because it was my family that was done wrong by the police. So when I see this stuff, I feel some type of way. Mama, when you said that you had aborted because of things that happened in your life, I feel for you, because a Black woman should not have to do things to her body based upon what was done to her. As reading your bio, I'm like, dang, Mama was like, really went through some stuff, some Black bush. in her life, and that's real. And your story, like I said in the beginning, is no different from so many Black people. And my thought is, and I say to Black women and Black men alike, when do we begin to love each other so that we can build each other up and make things better? Do you really want that? Probably not. Not you, mama, not you. Do Black people really want that alike? Probably not, because we like drama, we like foolishness, and all this other stuff. But at the end of the day, if we want to be better, we got to be able to work together and do something. I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, like, with all this stuff that Trump has done. Hold on, okay. Hold on, let me let you, hold on.
I agree with you 1000%. And this is my thing. You said something, a key component. The type of pain that I experience is the typical Black pain. The reality is, though, the problem, one thing I have to acknowledge is that I never took the time to blame someone else on my issues. I took the time to acknowledge what I did wrong. And I did that once I got saved. I have taken that method with me in all of my situations. If ever I've gotten into a situation, whether it be a car accident and not at fault, I'm still going to ask myself, what could I have done better to prevent this? I am a self-accountable individual. So why am I saying this? Because even on this phone call, since you want to speak on Black, I'm talking to nothing but Black men on this phone call. But yeah, when I say I had abortions, and I did something that was wrong, and I want to help spare other women from making that mistake. Oh, well, you did it, so just let another person do it. Now, when we look at no, I know you didn't say that, but let me. It's not. I'm not asking you to defend yourself. I'm speaking generally to this whole crew. The reality is this, though: how are we reproducing ourselves? A baby got to be born for you to reproduce yourself. The reality is this. Since 1973, more Black babies, if you count, have been aborted and born. And by 2050, we will be non-existent. We are not producing as much. That is the number one killer. Yet the Black Lives Matter movement, they support abortion. Some of the money that
Mama, hold on, listen. The Black Lives Matter, that organization, not people.
I understand, and that's why I said movement. But this is the thing, though. Nobody was singing Black Lives Matter until the organization came up. Nobody was singing that song.
Lives Matter movement, the organization, because that's ran by people who honestly are King, who's being paid by Donald. Now that's facts. Now I agree with what you're saying.
Who?
Republicans who are paying Sean King because he's behind Black Lives Matter movement.
Republicans paying Sean King? Talcum X? Talcum X?
Talcum, who is that?
Talcum X. That's his name, Talcum X.
Talcum X.
Oh, yes.
Sean King is a Democrat. He's not getting paid by no Republican.
Marxist. Talcum X.
Okay.
Watch it.
For y'all to be Christians, y'all are so just, y'all have a really, for y'all to be Christians, y'all are catty. Y'all are some catty Christians, honey.
He was not in contact.
Where did y'all get saved at? What's your church home? Where did you get saved at? Y'all are catty. Y'all are the cattiest Christians I've ever seen.
So Beverlyn
Thais, just shut up. Just shut the fuck. Just shut the fuck up.
They are some mean Christians.
Thais, just shut the fuck up.
Where did you get baptized? Where did you get baptized at?
We hate the devil. I'm sorry.
Where were you baptized at?
I think none of y'all
Just
the
shut the
devil.
fuck up.
Wait. I got a question. Are you
Just
saying
shut the fuck up, dog.
are you saying that he's the devil because he's gay?
No.
You said
You didn't, but you're not listening. Somebody's talking while I'm talking, so you're not listening.
Okay.
I just said, I don't think y'all are the devil. No.
oh, okay.
So at the end of the day, I hate the devil, but I don't think y'all are the devil.
No.
We may disagree, but I don't see y'all as my enemy.
Absolutely.
But I do see a lot on here that, we got called a B word in a room full of Black men. We got cursed at.
No. I'm the one that said it. Not him.
I never cursed you.
No.
I never cursed you.
No, Thais.
Okay, so KingJives. Jives.
But now
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
Let me ask you something, Jives. Jives. Let me ask you something, Jives. KingJives. Are we going to be able to talk? Because when they talk, nobody says anything. We let them talk. And as soon as we talk, they start screaming all over us. So are we allowed to talk? Otherwise, I can go. I can leave.
Everybody's allowed to talk. I just really I want everybody to take turns. Because
I really can go. Y'all can have this. When they talk, we be quiet, right? When they talk, we're quiet. As soon as we start talking, they start yelling all over us. We can't get our point across.
Okay, so I'm going to finish my statement, then I'm going to be quiet so you can get your point across. My apologies. Okay, Mr. Jackson. I'm sorry, Mr. Jackson. Ooh, I am for real.
Let me say this to you, Bevelyn. And I'm going to be clear. I came on here today with the same point of view as Jives. I did not want you leaving because I know women like you. I've seen you all my life. I know women like you. Trust me, I do. And I came on here with the same mind. I came on here with the same mindset as my brother. I did not want to come on here and give you ammunition to leave here and say you were disrespected. I have not called you out of my name. You have been very disrespectful to me as a gay man.
I haven't. I've been honest with you.
Yes, you have. Yes, you have. I came on here from the first thing that came out of my mouth. You started laughing. You started being very disrespectful. Let me explain something to you. I'm going to say this. I'm going to read you today when I get off of here. I'm going to read you today on a separate, not on my brother's platform. I'm going to read you today, and I want it to go viral. You, Bevelyn, not the other lady, but you. I'm going to read you today. You're going to know it. Martin Luther King's birthday. I'm going to read you to a special place. I'm going to read you from Amazing Grace. I'm going to read you from Amazing Grace to a floating opportunity today, honey. Okay? I'm just letting you know that you will be read. Actually, I can't really read you. I can only reread you because you've been read already.
I'm ready, like fish is spaghetti.
Okay, so
I can't read you. I can't read you, girl. Wait a minute, one more thing, London. I can't read her. I can only reread her. She's been read already.
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. Since you addressed the cussing at you, yes, I did call you out your name. I surely fucking did, and I will call you out your name again.
Because that's what ignorant niggas do.
You know what? And I could be an ignorant ass nigga all you fucking want to, bitch. Because guess what? At the end of the day,
listen, I'm used to
it.
London.
And I'm sorry.
London, it's not worth it. It's London. London, let me explain something to you, London. London, listen to me clearly. Listen to me. Listen. Miss Ann.
What?
Miss Ann gave them the big piece of chicken on the plantation, and they have been bamboozled. Okay. Gave them the big piece of chicken. Gave them the big. They was eating chicken backs and chicken gizzards. Miss Ann gave them the big piece of chicken. Okay. So listen, when you are antebellum, hold on one second. Hold on.
Type of shit I laugh at.
Listen, let's be clear. Listen, London. Miss Ann gave them the big piece of chicken.
Because you was on the ball.
Not.
They got a breast. Miss Ann gave them the big piece of chicken.
Listen, Thais, what's the funny part is the only thing she can say is I'm gay. Bitch, you don't even fucking know me, pussy asshole. You don't even know me.
You want to fight? You like fighting women? You fight females?
You know what? I'm gonna let you have it. I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. I don't give two fucks about you. What you eat don't make me shit, bitch. And I don't like that your ugly ass anyway. So
Kizzy and Pinky, be well. Kizzy and Pinky.
Are you positive you're a lady?
Kizzy and Pinky, be well.
You're a lady.
Be well, Kizzy and Pinky.
Absolutely positively sure you're a lady. Because see, most ladies, most ladies.
Kizzy and Pinky, be well. Be well.
Listen, let me do this. Let me do this because I do not have control at this point, but I do have control of the mute button. I want to say this. And I don't want you all to take from this as if this was a moment to jump on you all. I really did this because I wanted to hear the viewpoints. Kyrie, London, and Thais are three different men from me. This whole opportunity, and I know you guys are laughing because to some degree this is very funny, and it's also sad at the same time because we can't get a word in because there are names being called. People are just it's shade. It's all shade, but nothing's gonna be done. I do feel like this, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna give everybody the chance to say something, and we're done for tonight. This was not how this interview was supposed to go. I honestly wanted to ask you ladies.
You knew it was gonna go like that.
Hold on, London. Hold on. I honestly wanted to ask you ladies.
But no, I told you from jump it was gonna go like this. Don't beat around the bush, bitch. Tell them I told them it was.
Okay. See, I ain't gonna be able to say nothing. Just put it on mute. Listen. So, Beverlyn, I wanted to ask you about being stabbed. I wanted to ask you about, being the Trump supporter, and Edemee, you too. I wanted to just honestly, because as a white woman, in being involved as a Trump supporter, have you ever felt racism from a Trump supporter or anything like that? When you guys got kicked off of the plane because you said that wearing a mask was against your Constitution and your right and everything, how did you feel? Because again, everybody's wearing masks to protect themselves, whether they believe it or not. And me personally, half time I don't even believe this stuff because I'm like, we can still catch corona with the mask or without a mask. Period. That's my thought. But I'm gonna wear a mask anyways. Because at the end of the day, in order for me to go into a store, it says on the store sign, wear a mask. So I'm going to do what the store says because that's the policy. If I want to be a patron to that store, I got to do what they say because that's what's required of me. All right. To you ladies, outside of Trump, outside of being a Trump supporter and all of that stuff like that, I respect you ladies because, again, reading your bio, I sympathize with you because you are the same color as me. Can we agree on that? You are the same color as me. I don't agree with the things that have happened to you because, again, this happens a lot in our communities. There's no support. There's none of this stuff in our communities. And to me, I decided to do this because I wanted to hear where you are and where you felt and all of those things because I just feel like with all of that, I'm trying to understand how two beautiful Black women support something that does not support them. Well, I don't know. Maybe to some degree, it may support you all. But as I've seen, the system does not support people of color. We have to break our backs to get something in this world because nothing's given to us for free. The ones that are billionaires and millionaires, it was not handed to them. And so this is the reason why I am taking the perspective that I'm taking right now, because I don't want you leaving saying KingJives disrespected me, because that's not. I never want you to leave here. And even when I interviewed other people and other women, I never want them to leave my platform and say that I disrespected them. I advocate for women. I've always advocated for women, for molestation, for abuse. When these pastors are out here abusing their wives and things, I'm always advocating for that. So when I see people that support somebody who does not even care, but just gives them money, that causes ill with me. Okay, and anybody who is in power and position, when they look over these things, it's a problem. So everybody can say what they need to say, because after this, we done. I love y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on in here, say what y'all need to say. Come on, peoples. Yeah, everybody's unmuted.
I think that everybody's intent coming in, although we knew that it would be a little combative. I think for the most part, everybody's intent was to come on and talk, although we know everybody has a different ideological perspective. But I think everybody's true intent, I know yours was, Jives, to have a dialogue. And it just seems like when you have guests or two guests and they're coming on and they're speaking as though they are professors and they are teaching us about white supremacy and what America is about, although as though we don't know, or, you know, all you have to do is come on and present your opinion or present your platform and let it go. When someone has a counterpoint, talking point, all you have to do is disagree or agree and move on. That's how the conversation flows. But all this passive aggressive and laughing and snickling and talking about people's orientation, that's not how you do it. But I believe that was their goal to come on today and to spew this. I believe that was their goal, was to come on today and to spew.
And the truth is,
I believe their goal was to come on today and to spew this propaganda. But Bevelyn, Bevelyn, look at me, Bevelyn. Bevelyn, look at me, Bevelyn. Look at me, Bevelyn. Look at me. Look, Bevelyn, look at me. I'm gonna read you today, Mama, when I get off of here. I'm gonna read you, Mama. Look at me. Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. Look.
If you can catch me, big man.
Look, I'm gonna read you today. The only reason I'm not gonna read you, the only way I don't read you today, if tomorrow's not Saturday.
What you said?
That's the only reason. If tomorrow's not Saturday, I won't read you. I'm gonna read you today, Mama. I promise you that.
I'm scared.
And that was not my goal. That was not my goal. My goal was to come on here. My goal was to come on here and my goal was to come on here and help my brother.
That's why you mad.
I'm going to read you today. I'm going to read you today, Mama. I'm going to read you today.
Me. You're going to think about me. I'm going to be in your nightmares and in your fantasies, buddy.
Girl, how?
In there.
How?
In there.
Girl, you are an antebellum. You are an antebellum bed wench. You are an antebellum bed wench, girl. How can you be in my dreams, girl? You are an antebellum bed wench. Girl, please. Girl, if you don't get back around there to that, plantation, Miss Ann gonna get you. Miss Ann gonna get you. You bed wench.
Rover, where's Red
Girl, you are antebellum bed wench, girl. If you don't get back around there to that plantation, get back around there before they gonna send the slave patrols. Kizzy, Pinky, y'all better get back around there, Kizzy. Kizzy, Pinky. They gonna send the police for y'all. Kizzy, Miss Kizzy, Miss Pinky.
Listen.
Y'all better go back around there.
Listen to your baby brother for a second. Listen to your baby brother.
Kizzy, Miss Kizzy, Miss Pinky, Miss Kizzy. Y'all better walk back around there.
Miss Kizzy, you ratchet Rashida.
Miss Kizzy, Miss Pinky, y'all better walk back around there. Miss Ann looking for you. Y'all been gone too long. Miss Ann been looking for y'all. Y'all been gone too long.
Should I ask a question?
Miss Ann looking for you.
I mean, Kyrie, go ahead. Go.
I just want to ask the ladies.
Queen. A messy queen. You's a messy queen. I see you.
Kyrie, go ahead.
Okay. Wow. What is y'all?
I'd rather be a messy ass queen.
Wait, no.
By the way, what is our view? What is your view on black men? How do you all feel about black men in general?
We love black men. We love all men. Men, not betas, not emasculated men.
Real
men that don't make excuses for where they are in life.
But grown men who handle
grown men that take responsibility. They don't complain.
Real men.
Now they know how to be vulnerable.
Grown men.
They have trust in the Lord.
Alpha men.
We're talking about men.
Straight men.
We love men, not feminists.
That's what we like.
Okay. Master Jackson. Master Jackson, they coming, Master Jackson. They coming, Master. Master Jackson, they coming.
Okay, you got a minute. Okay, so you love men, alpha men, I get it, straight men. So, but by you being a Christian, because somebody in the comments said, I'm against homosexuality. But as a Christian, Beverlyn, you are to display the love of Jesus Christ. God's love brings repentance. Because the way somebody in the comments said that.
Let me respond to that comment. The thing is, if Christianity is incumbent in just virtue signaling and acting, that's why the church is where it's at now, because a lot of people know how to virtue signal and act. And that's why a lot of people don't want to be Christians anymore, because it's a lot of virtue signaling and acting. But then once you get behind closed doors, as KingJives just said earlier, you got pastors abusing their wives, you got them doing this, but when they get on that pulpit, they holy, holy, holy. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is 2021. It's a new generation, baby.
Oh boy.
We keeps it 100 around here.
That's right.
We transparent around here. And I'm not just going to be a Christian to put up an image for somebody else to be accommodated. That's what I am 100. When I go to bed at night in the dark when no one else sees me, I live a holy life. I'm not married. So guess what? Nobody plays in this cookie jar. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't steal. I don't finesse. What you see is what you get. That's Christian. So this is the reality. The Bible says the exact same thing I'm saying. And I'm going to tell you something. If I didn't love you, I wouldn't tell you the truth. I would tell you what you want to hear. Right. I would go ahead. Do it, baby. Do it, baby. Kill yourself. That's fun. That's right. Do what thou wilt. You know who taught that doctrine? Who introduced that to this world? A man called Aleister Crowley. They called him the 666 man. That same shirt Jay-Z wore. Do what thou wilt. Aleister Crowley introduced that self-love, do what you want, don't worry about rules, don't worry about who else you affect, do you. And that is totally against the nature of God, because it is sin. The Lord said, die to self and live now. So hold on, let me finish. The Lord said, die to self and live in me. So what I'm going to express to you is what Christ has built in me. Because let's be clear, before I was saved, I worked for a feminist organization. I went to a gay church. I went to gay balls. I went to fashion school. I did it all, honey. All my friends were gay. All of them. Every single one of them. I done had a gay roommate. A couple of famous gay people you know right now that you guys be like loving. They was in my crib chilling, sweetie. And that's a Fendi fact. So at the end of the day, I lived that life. I seen what that was, but it wasn't true. We were incumbent in one another because we were a community. We were a bunch of lost, broken people, and we just chose to be incumbent in one another. But the reality is, when I found Christ and I spread the truth, it's because I realized, not because I hate you and you're gay, no, because this is wrong and it's going to lead to self-destruction. Right. And so now the Lord, and it's not just about homosexuality, prostitution, lying, chill, any form of sin, it's going to lead you to destruction, and I'm going to call a spade a spade. Now, did I get catty? Yes, but Thais started it, and I finished it. Like I said in the beginning, I don't start stuff, but I finish stuff, and that's just what it's going to be.
Okay.
So, don't lie, mama. Don't do that. I did not start anything. I asked you a question, girl. All I did was I asked you a question and you started laughing. You fell out laughing like I told a joke. Don't lie. Don't say I started it. I did not.
Jealous of me, Thais. I think you're jealous. You have beautiful teeth and I'm beautiful and you jealous. Just say that and just be real about it. You're jealous. Just say it so we can get it over with. You're jealous.
Jealous of what? That isn't me asking. Why would you be jealous?
You mad at the grill because it ain't the banging. He's jealous. Thais is mad, honey.
Wait, I got a question.
Wait. Jealous of you? Jealous of you? Girl, I can smell. Wait a minute. Girl, I can smell the plantation. Okay, y'all stop. I can smell the plantation come from here.
And I smell dookie.
I can smell the plantation come from here, girl.
Yeah.
I can smell the plantation come from here. I can smell it from here, girl. I can smell it from here. How many white supremacist dick did you support, girl? How many did you suck on the 6, mama?
You so nasty.
So let me.
How many white supremacist dick did you suck on the 6th, girl? How did you pay for your ticket to Washington, girl? How many dicks did you suck to get to Washington?
Listen, damn. Everybody.
How many dicks did you suck to get to Washington?
That's a demon. That's
what happened. And that's
1 second. Damn, like I ain't trying to cuss tonight, but shit. Now listen, 4 Kings gonna come on tonight. We're gonna do it at 8. Thais and Kyrie, we're gonna come on. Yes, I'm gonna see y'all tonight. Okay, bye y'all. Bye. Kyrie, I'm gonna see you tonight at 8. Bye. All right, so Bevelyn and Edemee. Now you said something earlier, about being Christian and the Bible and everything like that. Now I've taken the opportunity and I've done a lot of studying. And at first, 1 minute, I was Christian, and then I went to, I was a whole Hebrew and everything like that. But one thing I've grown to learn, and that is this: regardless of whatever we may feel that the Bible, did everybody leave? Everybody left? Wow. All right. Listen, I guess it's just me on the show. Let me tell y'all something right here, right now. Everybody's left. Okay? Ain't nobody left on. Everybody just left off. Listen, let me just say this. Tonight was not even supposed to go like this. Hear me? Tonight was not even supposed to go like this. I really do. And I don't want nobody to feel like this was a opportunity to jump on these women, because it was not that. Now, I'm going to save my comments to the 4 Kings, because I don't want this interview to be messed up and somebody to say Jives did this and did that. No. I appreciate the ladies. Let me just stay here. Sheree, let me just stay in this vein. I appreciate the ladies for coming on and the opportunity for them to speak. I'm going to say that. And I do feel like what they displayed is what all of the Trump supporters display. And it's no different from people who are against Trump or anything. It's all hatred. And when you believe something, and that's what it is. Period. When you believe in Trump, you're going to rock hard for it, and you're going to go ahead. Wrong, right, or whatever, you're going to rock with it, period. Now, I feel like this, when it comes down to it, I've done my part as being respectful to these ladies. Now, was there shade thrown tonight? Absolutely. But anyways, y'all, I appreciate y'all. I'm going to have to save all my comments for tonight. They're not going to be no bitches or anything coming from me, but I promise you, I have really held myself together. Y'all can applaud me. I really held it together. Praise God. But, yeah, I'll save myself. What we got? Let me see. We got an hour and 30 minutes, Saints, and friends. Got an hour and 30 minutes. I will see y'all in an hour and 30 minutes, okay? Because let me tell y'all something. God bless everybody. God bless. Y'all want to give an offering? Go ahead, give an offering. God bless. This was not this. Matter of fact, you know what? I believe this was the way it was supposed to go. I believe this was the way it was supposed to go. They gave their feelings. Everybody gave their feelings, and I was supposed to hold it together. That's what it was. I held it together. Goodbye, y'all. Bye.